Hello, this is Pat Walker, Mission Winners, doing an ETF overview for everybody. Why do we look at the ETFs? Well, here's a fact, not an opinion, a fact. Leading groups produce leading stocks produce leading groups. By looking at the ETFs, we can see where there's strength, areas to consider, but also weakness, areas to avoid. Both sides, either side of the same coin, both are very valuable in our decision-making process. Like right here, U.S. robotics, global robotics. You look at this and you say, this is lagging. This is the 50-day moving average line. All right, it's lagging. There's not a lot of power in it. Be careful with it. Continue on. In other words, avoid robotic stocks. Cloud computing showed a little bit of life, okay, and then it backed off. It's almost like the poster child of the market. Showed a little bit, but now it's backed off. The key point is this, though. It rallied up and it's finding support on the 50-day. Maybe it'll start to lift off. Doesn't look that bad. Maybe looking at some cloud computing stocks. There we go. Diamonds, just choppy. Still just choppy here. Going up on decreasing volume. It's below the 50-day. Needs to get above the 50-day and show some power. By the way, this is only 30 stocks, so we're not too involved with it, all right? Now look at this one, Dow Jones Internet, and look what this did on Friday. You see the volume pickup? We like that. There's something to take into consideration. Not just this ETF, all right, but also some internet stocks. You can punch up FDN and find out what are their top 10 holdings. Systemization, that's how we do it. Continue onward. IBD 50, it's doing okay, but it's still below the 50-day. And the 50-day is falling. Needs to show some power. That tells you that the IBD 50, and I'm not criticizing it, it's a great list, but it's just indicative of the market. The market's kind of sloppy. There you go. Not being negative, just reporting what it is. First Trust Darcy, look at this, lagging. You could punch up FV and find out their holdings and say, that's kind of stuff I want to stay away from. All right, there we go. China, stay away. It's below the falling 50-day. There's no power here. Leave it alone for now. All right. By the way, that's not a political statement. I'm just talking about what's going on in the markets. All right. Gold miners lagging below the falling 50-day. Here's a great lesson. Oh, it's a green bar. Nowhere it opened, ran up, nowhere it closed. It closed below where it opened on a pickup in volume. It's met with selling pressure. Stay away from gold miners. Gold, weak, stay away for right now. Biotech, weak, stay away. That's it. You don't have to overthink it. It's weak. Leave it alone. Continue onwards. Oil and gas. Now this one doesn't look too bad. What does this tell us? Maybe we could look into some oil and gas stocks. There we go. That's good to know. IEO. You can punch it up and see what their top 10 holdings are. Energy related. Technology, software. That doesn't look too bad either. I'm not saying buy this, but I am saying, and it is a decent base here, okay? But what I am saying is software is improving. There we go. You could punch up IGV and find out what their top 10 holdings are. That's systemization, looking for strength. Continue onwards, avoiding weakness. Medicine. Yeah, they need a shot. Look at that. That's no good. Be careful with medicine stocks. Mid-cap, lagging, leave them alone. Aerospace and defense, they're not flying. All right? There's nothing there, folks. Leave it alone. Aerospace defense stocks. U.S. home construction was acting okay, and now it's gotten really sloppy. It's below the 50-day. Here's a great telltale sign. Crashes down below the 50-day. Rallies back up on decreasing volume. Crashes down below the 50-day on a pickup in volume. What does that say? Be careful with home construction stocks. Growth, S&P 500 growth, little bit of power here. Rallied up. It does have support at the 50-day, above the 50-day, a rising 50-day. I showed you a bunch that are below a falling 50-day. That doesn't look too bad. Growth related, all right? I'm not saying buy it, but growth seems to be doing a little bit better. Small caps lagging. What does this say? In 1 second, stay away from small caps. Done. Don't have to overthink it. There's nothing there. Move on. Better fish to fry. Real estate still lagging. Nothing really powerful there. Transport, stay away. See, that's good to know. Stay away from the transport stocks. That eliminates a bunch of stocks. Narrow our list down. Airlines, grounded, nothing to do with it. That's dad humor. Isn't that great? Airlines, stay away. Regional banking, lagging, stay away. Mid-cap, lagging, stay away. There's no power there. Oil services. Oh, another energy ETF. What was the other one I just mentioned? IEO. You see how you build a case? IEO, OIH. MICKEY, MOUSE. Okay, I had to say it. And some of you are going, I don't know what he meant by that. Older people will know. Anyway, this is basing right here, okay, showing a little bit of power, but note, green bar, but look where it closed. Green bar, but look where it closed. It needs to close above where it opened. 2 times it opened and closed below where it opened. Do you see this? Needs to show some power. What does it say? There's a seller up there. Be careful with that. Good to know. Pharmaceuticals, no great shakes there. QLD, it started to lift above the 50-day. This is a poster child for the market because it is the market. NASDAQ 100 rallies up and then it falls again. Starts to lift on Friday and then it tails off and closes in the bottom third of its range on a pickup in volume. It's telling us there's sellers there. It needs to get over the 50-day and it needs to get over there with volume. NASDAQ 100, the big ones. Continue onwards. QQQ, same situation. A little bit of a tail bar there. A little bit of support on the 50-day. Needs to show some power. All right. Retailing, lagging, nothing really to do with retail. Silver is tarnished. Leave it alone. Steel, there's no power there, team. Leave steel stocks alone. Semiconductors, look at that drop below the 50-day. There's nothing to do with them. Spiders, needs to get above the 50-day with volume. I need to pause here and share something. Please don't think that, oh, Pat's negative and stuff. Oh, no, I'm just reporting what is. That's all. We're optimists, but we're also realists. We let the markets tell us what to do. We don't impose our will on the markets or the stocks. And that really helps us. So there we go. Spiders needs to get over the 50-day. All right. Continue onwards. SSO needs to get over the 50-day. All right. There's not much power there. Ran up and it tailed off and closed in the bottom half of its range. It's below the 50-day. Got to get a thrust in here. The one positive on these, spiders and SSO, they do have higher lows. So maybe there's potential there. All right. Solar, stay away from solar stocks. And by looking at this chart, it's told you for most of this year to stay away from solar stocks. Isn't that great to know? It's great to know what to look for to maybe buy. And it's also great to know what to avoid. There we go. Power. 2 sides of the same coin. Both sides, though, are powerful for us. Share that with you. Small cap. Ooh, lagging. Leave them alone. Uranium doesn't look too bad. That's been kind of trending up. You can punch up URA and see if there's any uranium stocks maybe to take a look into. There we go. Continue onwards. USO. Now, isn't this interesting, folks? Did we talk about a couple of energy ETFs? Yeah, IEO and OIH. Here's another one. It's building a case. Say, hey, energy, maybe look into some of them. Forming a little shelf right here. It's a small shelf, which would be very aggressive. You have to watch that. But it is showing some power. Energy-related stocks. You can punch up USO and find out what their top 10 holdings are. There you go. Consumer discretionary, no power, leave it alone. Aerospace and defense, grounded. Nothing to do with it. Stay away from defense stocks. Biotechnology, another one lagging, leave it alone. Home building, choppy. It was great for a while. Look at the weekly. We owned some home building stocks. I think we owned 4 of them. And it was a good run. But now it's sloppy and choppy. Not a lot to do with it at this point in time. Leave it alone. And then we've got materials. How do you build things? With materials, starting to lag a little bit too. Needs to show some power, nothing yet. Communications, kind of hanging in there, but not a lot of power either. Energy, another energy ETF. Kind of built a case in what respects? Maybe look into some energy stocks. There you go. That's power, folks. Power and energy. That's kind of a pun, isn't it? Okay, sorry. XLF financials are lagging, leave it alone. Industrials, be careful with industrial stocks. Technology showing some strength, needs to push over the 50-day. We need to see a push over the 50-day for technology. Consumer staples, stay away. Healthcare, stay away. Consumer staples are discretionary, it's below the 50-day, needs to show some power. Metals and mining, needs to show some power, really nothing there. Oil and gas, XOP. There's another one. I'm not saying buy these. That's not my point. I'm saying there has been strength in this group. All right? So there's opportunity there. And maybe there's continued opportunity. There we go. Just things to take a look at, okay? And then we go to retail. Stay away from retail. Nothing good there. All right? Stay away from retail stocks. Software needs to show some more power. I mean, look how good this was back here. We had some software stocks and it was great. But right now it's a little sloppy. It says be careful with software stocks. Now we go to the MAXLIST stocks. There's Apple. See this great trend? We owned this through this trend. Now, this is weekly. This is why I love weekly charts. Weekly on the left, daily on the right. And now it's fallen, really cracking hard. Folks, that's serious selling. It needs to get above the 50-day. I said this for years. The air's better above the rising 50-day. All right? Right now it's below the falling 50-day. Leave it alone. Nothing to do with it. Amazon. Now this is above the rising 50-day. And look at the weekly. Look at where, in a crummy market, look at where it closed last week. Look at where it closed this week. That's pretty good. Maybe this could take off. That's something to take into consideration, is Amazon. And you've got a downward sloping trend line here too. And I'll draw this for you. And it's not that fancy. That's close enough. There you go. By the way, you don't have to get it to the penny, okay? Just intersect some points. The more points, the better. There it is. Perhaps. So what's the setup here? Amazon, bouncing off the 50-day. What does it need? It needs to push through these tops. It needs to push through with really good volume. It needs to continue to stay above the line, and we need a good market too. There you go on Amazon. Let's continue onwards. I'll write these things down that I want to. Let's move on. Alibaba, there's nothing there. I mean, look at it. It starts to go up and they take it right back. By the way, you see these loose bars, these tail bars? That indicates high investor emotions with a lot of price gaps in it. Be wary of that. Be careful. Until this gets above the 50-day, leave it alone. Nothing to do with it. BIDU, same situation. Leave it alone. Google. Now this one doesn't look too bad. It's above the rising 50-day, above the rising 21-day, and the rising 80 MA. That doesn't look too bad. Something to take into consideration. What do you need to see? We need some power, pushing through tops with volume. Good price action, good volume action, and a good market. All right? A good market. The M in mission winners. People go, what's mission stand for? Markets, industries, sectors, stocks, institutional support, outstanding management, outstanding product, outstanding service. And the N, to me, is the most important letter. Never say never. Keep going. The biggest part of this game, folks, I will tell you this. I got degrees in psychology. Biggest part of this game is not what's before our eyes. It's what's between our ears. Have a positive mindset and always practice good risk control. I really mean that. I've been doing this a long time. It'll help you. It'll help you. Google, maybe there's potential. What else catches your eyes? Well, it went up on a slight pickup in volume. Okay, good. Good to see. Goldman Sachs, look at this. Oh, there's Google kind of hanging in there. Goldman Sachs, nope, nothing there. Leave it alone. Move on. MasterCard has some tops across here. All right, that one's acting decent. By the way, what's the sister stock to MasterCard? Gosh, what is it? Yeah, you'll know in a minute. Well, you know already, probably. But MasterCard doesn't look too bad going across these tops. Let's get, what's it need? Good market and good volume. Continue onwards. Meta was a massive run for us on the week. This is why we have weekly charts. That was a monster run, folks. All right? And then it got sloppy and we're out of it. It's chopping around here. Look, it started to lift off and they took it right back down. Started to lift up Friday and it closed below where it opened. There's sellers up there. It needs to show some strength over these tops. I'll get rid of this line and I'll draw another line for you to help you. And it's nothing fancy, just flat tops. This is the same thing on the weekly, folks. This is why I love weekly charts. There you go. This is the same dang thing. What's it need to do? Get over that line with volume. What's it going to need? A good market. By the way, note how it closed on Thursday in the bottom half of its daily range. Note how it closed on Friday in the bottom fourth of its daily range. It's met with sellers. We need to take them out. Until we take them out, gotta wait. That's a good lesson. Let's continue. Isn't this fun? I love this. Now, Microsoft doesn't look too bad. Started to go yesterday on Friday, and then it backed off. But there's potential with that. It's one of the better looking MAXLIST stocks right now, to tell you the truth. Pushing across these tops. And you got a clean base here, and I'll draw it for you. By the way, this is education. Please don't think I'm the cheerleader trying to convince you to buy something. No, I just want to explain what to look for. What to look for in the charts to make better investing decisions. So there we go. Let's continue on. There's Microsoft. Okay, Netflix. There's another example. Look at this. I talked about it earlier. A lot of stocks push up and they give it right back. Look at that. Folks, in a good market, Netflix would go. Look at the volume pickup on that bar. It would go. What's holding it back? The M in mission, the markets, all right? We need to see the market strengthen. There we go. And don't impose your will and say, well, it has to. Why? Because we think so? It doesn't have to do anything. It's going to do what it's going to do. When we accept that fact, life's easier. Get in line with what's happening, not what we think should happen. There we go. Could this take out this time? Potential. If the market heats up, that's not bad. Okay? Continue onwards. NVIDIA, this was a gift back here. This was our first buy back in here. January 6th and January 9th, right in here. And that worked. There you go. Locked it in, out of it for now. And no, I've talked about a lot of stocks being loose. Loose patterns indicate high investor emotions. This is high investor emotions right here, folks. I mean, look at this. Gaps up, drops like a rock. Gaps up, drops like a rock. Whipping all over the place. It needs to settle down, okay? Until that happens, be careful, all right? By the way, I'm going to do a good lesson for you here. Watch this. See the higher low here? See how nice this is? This isn't whipping around like crazy. It's nice. Higher low setup, and it worked. And worked. All right? But right now, whipping, baby. Be careful with that. And I don't like tail bars. This is a tail bar, a bad tail bar. Gaps up and closes near the lows. Be careful with that. Be careful with that. Indicates high emotions and sellers meeting it. All right? Tesla. Now we look at Tesla. Let's compare and contrast. NVIDIA kind of whipping around here. There's Tesla. It's basing here. Tesla, maybe take out these tops here. And what does it need to do? It needs to do it with volume. And until that happens, you've got to wait. By the way, I already have a price alert set from Friday. And by the way, you could say, oh, you got it set early. This is a great lesson for everybody. Set your price alerts early. Don't set it at the line. Set it a little bit below the line. I'll raise it up a bit here. This was from yesterday. I'll raise it up a bit. You can say, oh, so Monday that alert goes off. Well, it hasn't hit the pivot yet. Yes, but I can look at it and say, oh, okay, and then watch it. Oh, boy, look, it's going up. It's going to come up to that line. Oh, boy. Then you take it down to the hourly chart. Hey, there's volume coming into it. That's how we do it. There you go. No volume, no buy. Visa. We own Visa from down here. See the base? Well, you can see it on the weekly. And it's just chopping around. It's indicative of the market. It's hard for the thing to get going. What have we done with it? We bought it, and we've sold some into strength to lock in some profits. There we go. Now we'll just watch it. Price alert set. See the lower alert? See the upper alert? If this starts to move up here, I'll see it, and then if it can take out the highs of these bars with volume, we'd buy more. Now here's another important lesson on the weekly. Closed strong a week ago on good volume. Didn't close bad this week either on less volume. It's consolidating. It's resting. They're not knocking the tar out of it. That's good to know, isn't it? There's not a lot of heavy selling. Now we've got a plan.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.